The next technique is called grasp of death. My personal preference is for anything that has the word of death at the end of it. You might want to say it of death. It kind of adds a little more fun to doing the technique. Grasp of death is the first one where there's a headlock involved. Headlocks this is very difficult often for white belts going to yellow belt to teach, for them to learn, because there's just a lot going on with the technique. To show what it looks like, we're going to show it from this side. I'm going to step in here. One, I'm going to grab here, contour up, over the top, push, drag, check, punch to the head. That's going to be a quick version of what it looks like. We're going to review. For a side headlock, we're going to step forward, right foot, your left knee into a closed kneel stance. You're going to be bent over because that's how it is when they're attacking you. You're going to contour, take your knee and their right knee to get it lifted up. Let's see, how can we best show that? This is hard to show on a video. But the idea is we're going to contour and then we're going to push against, there's a deep lymph node right in the back of the calf, and you're going to want to drive your knee into that. Not to mention, while he's trying to choke me, if I'm at the same time pushing up and down, he's going to let go. Every once in a while you'll meet someone who doesn't seem to feel the pain and won't let go, but generally speaking they will. At the same time that you are stepping forward with your right foot into that close kneel stance, your left heel is off the ground, you're going to be reaching underneath and you're going to be doing either a horse bite on the inside of the thigh, or you can also just reach straight up using this kind of an action and just get them right in the taint. Or behind the boys, or grab hold, anything you can get a hold of depending on what your opponent is wearing when they're attacking you or what you can hit. You might need to hit them a couple times to get a reaction. It's all, Kenpo's good, it's all about hitting. It's great. Anyway, from here, we're going to be dropping in, same time that's striking. Important thing is they're trying to choke. So when we're striking here, we want to try and get air. Air is very important. Doesn't matter how good your technique is if you have no air. So from here, we're going to want to turn around a little bit, right here. After you've struck here, underneath, hopefully they will have loosened up a little bit, and you have, the next thing you need to do is get your hips underneath you. Okay, hips underneath you, very important. Your left hand from the groin strike or inner thigh strike is going to contour up your opponent's back. At the same time, lift this over your head. We need to back up a little bit. All right. We need to contour up the back, stepping in front of your opponent, taking your left arm, sliding it down to the elbow into an arm bar. Don't down yet. So from here. At this point, they're probably going to be bent over. They may collapse, some people do. If not, if they have not collapsed yet, the goal is to get them into a three-point stance. That means 2 feet on the ground, one hand on the ground, you're holding the other one. So again, take the blade of your hand, pisiform, go right behind the shoulder blade, push out. By pushing out from a neutral bow, left neutral bow, your opponent's hand will go to the ground. At this point, you give them an extra little shove, take your right hand, punch them in the head, in the ear, anywhere up in here is fine. And you can, then you can push drag into close kneel stance with a punch. So the tricky part, we'll just do it without for a second. So you can see all the strikes. We're going to grab under the groin, pull down so you can breathe. This is going to go over the top. Important thing, like a marathon runner, da-na-na-na. You're going to step around in front at the same time as you're contouring up their back, sliding over to the arm. Some people go to the shoulder, and there's not an arm bar there that's as easy to manipulate. So slide over to behind the elbow, push, pull down, improve your stance, deepen it a little bit, make sure your back is straight, always keep your back straight, heels out, knees out, push, pull. From here, take your hand, slide it up, behind their shoulder, give them a good shove until they fall forward to a three-point stance. Then, I see some people who do, they don't do it that way, and they do kind of a round punch, a third arm thing, I don't know. I'm not as comfortable with that because you don't have as clear a target. When you shove them out forward, put your hand as a check, you can push drag and drop right in and hit them on the head, maybe bounce their head off the pavement. Whatever. I find that to be an easier way of doing it. It's still a difficult technique for white belts going to yellow belts because you have contouring with the knee, you need to discuss getting the hips underneath, we've got contouring up the back, we've got an arm bar, we've got pushing the three-point stance. There's a lot involved in this technique, so don't be surprised if it takes a little while to get it all. And that one is called grasp.